Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, and today on Record All Monsters, Gamera vs. Virus, from copycat to trendsetter.
From this we can see that Gamera has formidable destructive power, but there is a weak point, and that is his unusual and overpowering kindness to children. Perhaps this can be used against him.
In our episode on Gamera vs. Barugon, I said that it was hard to talk about the Gamera movies at that stage in their development because they weren't very established yet and hadn't had the time to settle in or experiment too much. Well, we're now 4 films into the Friend of All Children series, and it has become difficult to talk about them because it is already so reliant on formula. 1967's Gamera vs. Gyaos had created the winning combination that the series would rework only one more time before essentially making the same movie over and over and over and over and over again until they went bankrupt in 1971. The final ingredients are added here. An American friend of our child protagonist is added for some appeal to AIP TV's US audience, and anything resembling an adult as a main character is booted straight out of the movie. The only real authority figure of any consequence is our lead, Maso's older sister, Mariko. Sure, Kojiro Hongo is on hand, but his role is nowhere near as important as it was in the previous 2 Gamera outings. Instead, Hongo spends his time being made to look like a fool by the boys, who are oh so clever and smart and good, you know. This would be his last Gamera movie for nearly 30 years. There are some very nice touches throughout, though. While the film is overall much cheaper than any of the previous entries in the series, the effects are about on par with them for the most part, especially the scenes original to this film. Gamera's final fight with Virus gives us some bizarre and wonderful imagery. However, most of the effects footage is recycled, like a Gamera's Greatest Hits reel. It's integrated into the story as a flashback, so it's not too egregious. The second set of stock footage clips where the aliens blackmail Gamera into attacking Tokyo, however, is just the black and white rampage from his first movie. And it's still in black and white. All of these things, for good or ill, would inform the genre going forward. The Godzilla series would make a whole film around stock footage the next year, and Gamera would be only a little less reliant on it in the future. However, the tone set by Gamera is one of goofy fun, and increasingly bloody and brutal monster fights, even if the violence was closer to something like Itchy and Scratchy than, let's say, horrors of malformed men. That is to say, it's cartoony. That doesn't mean it didn't distress kids to see their herptile hero impaled on a silver space squid. As a matter of fact, according to the first volume of John LeMay's Big Book of Japanese Giant Monster Movies, children screamed in terror at the prospect of Gamera dying before their very eyes. There's an anecdotal story that series director Noriaki Yuasa told, which I heard recounted on a DVD commentary, that one day while he was in a park, Yuasa was approached by a little girl who said she had a message from Eiji Tsuburaya. The message, she said, was to not have so much bloodshed in the Gamera movies. It frightens young children. Yuasa wasn't sure if the message was really from Tsuburaya, for whom he had a great deal of respect, and if it was, why didn't he call him at his office or write to him in some official capacity? As such, he ignored the message, and the Gamera films continued to grow bloodier. This had been slated to be the last Gamera film by Daiei, which was part of why Yuasa ratcheted up the violence and drama, and he had initially been relieved to hear it. But as the production wrapped, he found himself emotionally devastated and broke down in tears after completing the final shot. Gamera was something he had helped to give birth to, and had proven his vision was the right one, the successful one, the one that the audience wanted. His feelings remained decidedly mixed as the box office return showed that he was right again, and the success of Gamera vs. Virus ensured more Gamera films would come. In fact, Daiei requested Yuasa put out 2 Gamera films a year from then on, but he said it would be impossible. But there would be a Gamera film every year for the rest of the decade, right up until Daiei filed for bankruptcy.
Goodbye forever! The monster's beaten at last!
Yes, you are. And you owe that to one of your jokes.
Yes, and as your penalty, no supper at all tonight.
Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, host and writer of Record All Monsters, and this is a public service announcement. For the past 20 years, the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards have served as both a checklist and signpost for excellence in classic horror fandom around the world. Last year, we here at Record All Monsters received a nomination in the category of Best Multimedia Website. This year, we have once again been nominated. This time in the new category of Best Podcast, and to win, we need your support. How can I, a simple but very attractive listener to Record All Monsters, support you in this campaign, you ask? It's easy. Go to www.rondoaward.com and paste the ballot into an email. Once you've made your selection, and you can vote in as many or as few categories as you choose, send that email to taraco@aol.com. That's TARACO@aol.com by April 17th, midnight your time. And make sure to vote for Record All Monsters in the Best Podcast category. We're also trying to get our friend Nathaniel Ross Smith an award. Please contact us for a selection of his monster art from the past year to attach to your Rondo ballot. We've only been nominated these past 2 years because of your support, and everyone here at RAM is extremely grateful. After you vote, please spread the word to anyone you think might do the same. We've done all that we can. The rest is up to you. Vote loud, vote proud, vote RAM for Best Podcast in the 2022 Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards. And remember that monsters are your friends.
Hi, I'm Cooper Powers, host of the Unquote podcast. Do you remember the first time you heard a cyborg assassin utter, "I'll be back"? Or when the Corleone family patriarch makes you an offer you can't refuse? The American Film Institute released a list of 100 movie quotes across a century of cinema, and I decided to get to the bottom of why who said what. I discuss how and why these characters convey their thoughts to each other and to us, as well as the legacy they left behind. Whether you're a stalwart cinephile or a pulp purveyor, you'll find a few facts and a lot of fun in these quotes of Unquote.
Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, Welcome back to Record All Monsters, where we're here with some very good friends of mine, special guests, Parker and Q, joining us virtually from the same state, and honestly not that far away, but
We're here in spirit.
and digitally.
That's the best part.
Q, you gonna say anything?
Greetings and salutations.
Viewers, you know this, your boy.
Listeners, there's no video version. Well, there is a video version of it, but it's just the audio over our logo and a squiggly line. So, all right, let's get started. We're here today to talk about Gamera versus Virus, aka Destroy All Planets. What did y'all what did y'all think?
Definitely not the shining star in the Gamera series. It's good. The other movie.
Yes.
Which name escapes me?
Is it from the first movie?
No, because it had him when he's breaking out of the ice in the first one, and then it was the versus Barugon, and then it was
Versus Gauss.
Versus Gauss. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Ah. You didn't know his name, Q.
No, I mean, I couldn't remember his name, but I was like, oh, yeah. Robert probably knows. Robert does know. So
Versus not Rodan.
I called him Rodan. I was like, yeah, Gamera's Rodan over there.
Yeah.
Q, what did you think?
It's just another Gamera movie to me, so I can't like knowing what to expect, and I got what I expected.
Okay.
We both got on.
In all honesty, I'm looking forward to seeing the more later ones, like the 90s to I guess 2000 ones.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, the Gamera formula is definitely in place by now.
I did not appreciate the squid virus's eyes or his face.
They're like those cat clocks.
Yeah.
Going back and forth the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the problem of the movie was solved by two adolescents' tomfoolery.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the whole Gamera series. All the kids are great. All the adults are dumb.
He's a friend of the
Gamera.
children.
Yeah, Q, I'm glad that we introduced you to Gamera. I think the next one is Gamera versus Jiger, and there are some more surprises in that one.
How can Gamera breathe fire in space when there's no oxygen?
Because he's Gamera.
Fair enough.
We were watching it together, like in tandem on
the
link you sent us, but like over PlayStation, and we had it was like we were in the same room, with our headsets on, and we were watching it at the same time. So, we had there were some quips, there were some cutbacks and stuff that we can't say on this show that we had fun about. Not bad. If I could give the movie a score, I'd give it like maybe a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10? I think that's fair. This is not one of my favorite Gamera movies. I do like how at the beginning of the movie, when the first spaceship shows up,
mm-hmm.
and the aliens are like, "It was," and then Gamera smashes his head through.
Yeah.
And the title comes up, Gamera versus. And what's really funny about that is in the original American version, the movie is called Destroy All Planets, not Gamera.
Oh.
So Gamera's head smashes in, and it says, "It was Destroy All Planets!"
Baffling.
Very much so.
I think my favorite scene from this movie, well, one of them was probably at toward the end, when Gamera, I guess, wants to get payback, or he's no longer in control or being controlled, and he's does the same thing, rams his head into that ship and just breathes fire into that entire ship.
Yep. I think for me, my favorite part is probably when they Voltron into the big octopus, and they like just keep cutting their heads off one by one.
that got us because we were like, oh man, that was brutal for that movie. And then it's like, oh, they're aliens.
Yeah.
Just schlonk gets bigger. Schlonk gets bigger. Schlonk gets bigger.
The thing that got we both
like every time they were cut to Virus, I was like, Parker, I can see his squid. I can see the human legs in the costume. I don't like this.
Yeah, I told him it looked like an upside down banana.
Yeah.
The thing that got us though when we were both watching it is the climax of the fight scene where Virus brutally impales Gamera.
That was pretty.
Like, he should have been dead.
Yes.
For the amount of times and then he, takes him into the atmosphere and freezes him and gives him the old Ironmonger treatment.
This was written to be the last Gamera movie, so they wanted to really up the stakes.
Oh.
And then it made so much money that the studio was like, "Hey, guess what? We're gonna need some more.
We gonna make more."
And they made one a year until the company went bankrupt. And with movies like this, you wonder why it took them until 1971.
I don't know about y'all, but I want one of them octagonal cut sandwiches.
Those sandwiches look pretty bomb.
They look really good.
Parker told me, I was like, you couldn't pay me enough to drink that apple juice. That's probably not juice. That's some other liquid.
In one of the upcoming Gamera movies, the aliens, because the rest of the Gamera movies, kids get kidnapped by aliens, and that's how it goes. But in one of them, they give them powdered jelly donuts, and they look so good.
Nice.
But the milk they give them with them looks like
is it like Star Wars milk? Is it like blue?
Yeah, but it looks more like cement water almost.
Oh,
like
gray milk.
Man. Yeah, I used to have as my Facebook cover photo the spinning Gamera with Viras stuck in his gut. Any movie that has an image like that can't be all bad,
I like how when Gamera would go to sleep, it's not that his eyelids close, it's that his eyes just kind of dim and go off.
Yes.
Powered down.
What happens to me?
Yeah. Like he doesn't have eyelids, but you can clearly see him blinking in the movie. But
I think they don't go all the way down.
Kind of like a frog.
Yeah. Oh, guys, this is nice to talk to you all. Parker.
Oh
yeah.
I also was. Me and Parker I was kind of tripping. I was like, you telling me two grown adults, and this goes back to what Robert was talking about, how adults are stupid in this movie or in the Gamera verse.
Oh my God, yes.
A scoutmaster and a scientist were in a submarine, and just because those kids wired it backwards, they couldn't figure out the controls.
You'd think after maybe the first couple of times, it'd been like, this has clearly been wired backwards.
No, this is too much for my scientific brain. Let's resurface and try again tomorrow.
Oh, man. They're so dumb. This movie was made in cooperation with the Boy Scouts of Japan.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, we were wondering why,
Well, because by this point, the Gamera movies were so popular on TV in the U.S. because they got released straight to TV over here, that they were making decisions based on what's going to appeal not just to the Japanese audience but also to the U.S. TV audiences.
Okay,
and that's right. There's a white kid in one of the lead roles.
I told Parker, I was like, Parker, this is an American and Japanese Boy Scouts thing. Let's see how many black kids are in this movie.
There were none.
There were none.
And I
There were
like
none.
how the American kid's name is just Jim.
Jim! Like, he's a small adult. It's not Jimmy or James or anything. It's Jim. He's a 45-year-old Boy Scout with a mortgage, and he's getting divorced.
2 kids and a dog that the wife took.
That's why I had to join up the Boy Scouts again. I got nothing left. Find a
They'll
camping
take
trip
me.
like this every weekend. All right, I'm gonna move on. And as the Gamera,
Grandma looked like paper mache in this movie.
I think it's fun. I think if you're watching the Gamera movie,
We both agree it's fun, but he doesn't look good in this one, Robert.
oh no. And just another good part that I really like is him lifting the
the
plastic
little
bubble
force field.
Yeah,
put on him.
talking about that too. Yeah,
That's how force fields work,
like he bent the force field and let the kids out, but the strain was too much on his Gamera body. He had to power down.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a break and then come back with our game show where I'm gonna pit y'all against each other again. And this game is called Formula Frenzy. And Parker, you may need to pay a special attention to this one.
Okay.
From the depths of space came the most terrifying threat ever known. A civilization whose only object was to destroy all planets. Spreading death and destruction throughout the galaxy. Monsters from the unknown, unleashing a reign of terror in the universe. Destroy all planets. In the path of this onslaught, Earth. An entire civilization stood on the brink of destruction as the invaders from the stars thundered toward the Earth. The world stood breathless as the men of space stood poised to strike. Was there any way of turning aside the disaster that awaited the Earth? See this thrilling new adventure as the Earth fights its climactic battle for survival. Against overwhelming odds, destroy all planets.
Welcome back to Record All Monsters. Q, get that out of your mouth.
Oh my God. That has to stay in.
Like having a giant baby. Speaking of babies, we focused on how formulaic the Gamera series has become by this point in our essay segment of the show, and also how child-centric. For today's game, Formula Frenzy, I have combined these two lines of thought. I will read to you the name of a brand of baby formula, and it's your job to tell me if it's a real brand or one I made up. If you win, I will give your baby back to you. If you lose, we'll give the child to the strange little man who helped us spin straw into gold so that we could marry the king. Just kidding. There are no prizes or penalties.
That was a hard callback.
Yes,
I know,
Parker.
I know what you're talking about.
Parker, your wife has already signed the contract. No.
I better win.
Question 1. Is Baby's Only Gentle Dairy Toddler Formula a real brand of baby formula?
Oh, man. True or false?
Yeah, true or false?
I'm gonna go with true.
Q?
I say true.
You are both correct. Despite being called babies only, this is in fact made by Nature's One with the intention of feeding toddlers who are not babies, but toddlers.
I hope that one's not recalled.
False advertising. Question 2. Is Enfamil aluminum-free extra protein formula a real brand of baby formula?
What's it called?
Enfamil aluminum-free extra protein formula.
I think that's a real one.
I think that's a real one too.
Well, now you're both wrong. It is not.
Oh.
I know. Okay, I know. Infamil's a brand.
Yes. Not this specific. You'd think you wouldn't have to advertise baby formula as aluminum free, but there's a lot of aluminum in a lot of baby formulas, and I don't know why. Maybe a real journalist should look into that.
I know why I said true, and it's only because baking soda advertises. No, it's either baking soda. It's baking powder that advertises that it's aluminum free.
Oh boy, why is there so much aluminum in our food?
Yeah.
Just eat foil at this point. So, score is still 1-1. Our next question is, hello, baby! Dairy-based powdered baby formula. A real brand of baby formula.
I feel like I want to answer true to all of these because they sound really real.
That was true.
That one has to be true. It sounds. I think Hello Baby is a brand.
Oh, but it is not. I made it up using words, which can be used for good or evil.
You smooth talking silver tongue trickster.
Am I handsome too?
Oh God, you know you are.
I say don't. You know.
I was doing a guest spot on another show, and the host messaged me saying that there is a video version as well if I'm uncomfortable being on camera. And I said, my wife says I'm very handsome, so I'll be fine. He didn't react at all to that. Okay.
It's all right. You can call another man handsome.
All right. 2 more questions, and y'all are
All
both still tied 1-1. Someone's got to win this.
Dang.
Question 1 is Jarro formula baby's big support a real brand of formula?
I'm trying to guess your formula here, because you throw some false ones in there, and then you make some pretty convincing ones up. You answer first.
Oh, you the father.
Good, Q.
Oh, okay. What's the name again? Can I get the name again?
Jarro formula baby's big support.
I'm gonna have to go to like the baby formula aisle and just look at all of them now. True.
And Q, you said false?
Say false.
Parker, you get the point. It is true. And in the name of this brand, BIG is an acronym standing for brain, immune, and gut.
Oh.
All right, last question. Q, you can either tie it or you can lose.
Just point blank.
Question 5. Is Bobby Organic Infant Formula milk-based powder with iron a real brand of baby formula?
Man, see,
I say false.
You make him sound so convincing. False.
You're both wrong.
But I still
win. Both wrong. Bobby Organic Infant Formula milk-based powder with iron is a real brand of baby formula, and its website advertises it as being inspired by European formulas, our babies, real life, modern parenting, and breast milk.
When you said, because it's Bobby's, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you said that I picked that inspired by Bobby Hill, that's not my formula.
Yeah.
That's my formula. I don't know you.
I don't know you. That's not my baby.
How popular is that phrase in the world now?
Pretty mainstream.
Justly, too. Justifiably. It's amazing. It's my purse. So, that's it for this episode. I'm glad I got to talk to you guys. It's always fun.
Oh yeah.
We spent like 30 minutes on. We're doing this on Skype. We spent like 30 minutes on Zoom, and I couldn't find the record button, so we had to migrate over here. But I'm glad we were able to make it work out. One thing I did want to ask you all, it's completely unrelated, that I'm probably going to leave in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about anime kid voices? Have you ever met a kid who sounded like that for real?
Most anime kid voices are voiced by grown women.
And I've met like grown women that sound like anime kids.
Like, okay, well,
that's just their default voice.
I met a kid at work who sounded like an anime kid.
He's probably ass catching on purpose. He's probably talking like that on purpose.
I don't know, because his dad, they were getting a library card, and we asked what his birthday was, and his dad said, "Tell him," and he goes, "August 8th."
Oh, wait, he sound like Dale Gribble.
Is that Froggy from Little Rascals?
I can't do it, but that's what he said. He was like, August 8th, and I wanted to be like,
ask him, can you do me a favor? Can you say chocolate for me?
Chocolate.
That's not an anime kid voice. That's like a grandpa voice.
I just wanted to walk around behind him and listen to him being like, "Daddy."
Oh my god. Chocolate. I remember chocolate.
I remember when they invented chocolate. That's like a mix of the,
guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out on a high note. So everyone, if you can hit a C together. I don't know what note that was. Okay, that's the end of the episode.
Oh my.
Oh man, you guys. Oh man, he said in his Homestar Runner-iest voice. For those of you who are too young to know what Homestar Runner is, I urge you to look it up. It's an artifact of the early internet, and something much beloved by me. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm very sorry about the delay on this episode. You may be able to tell I'm kind of tired. My sister, Amberly, who was on our season finale last year with the rest of my family for the game show on our War of the Gargantuas episode. She had to have a minor operation, so we may be putting up a GoFundMe for her medical bills, and if we do that, I will put a link in the show notes until we get that taken care of. I feel no obligation, but if you have some change or a little bit of money to help, once we get that up and running, we'll really appreciate it. We're waiting until we know exactly how much this is all going to cost. If you didn't see it through our social media posts, I was on a podcast called Unquoted, where we talked about the quote from King Kong that made AFI's 100 Films, 100 Quotes list. And, oh no, it wasn't the airplanes. It was Beauty Killed the Beast. And we go over just King Kong in general and why that quote may or may not be an honest summation of how the movie plays out and how Carl Denham feels about the events. So check that out if you want. They're also doing, I'm not on it this season, I almost went because I do love Batman. But on Podcasters Assemble this season, they're going over the Batman theatrical live action films. and it's been a lot of fun. I highly suggest y'all take a look at that. We've got a few plugs here in this episode for the Rondos, for Unquoted, which we have a guest spot on this week. And you can also have a spot on Record All Monsters if you give me an audio clip or something to read out and some money. You're all great. I'm sorry for kind of the ramshackle nature of the end of this episode. I gotta get to bed. Next time we're hoping to have a discussion for you on Record All Monsters about Destroy All Monsters, the movie from which this show takes its name. It's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. It is the center film in what I call the Minya trilogy. And it's going to be a great time. I'm confident of that. If you want to contact us, you can get to us through our social medias at Monsters Record on Twitter, at recordallmonsters.pod on Instagram, and look up Record All Monsters Podcast on Facebook, and we pop right up. You can also send us an email at recordallmonsterspod@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, recordallmonsters.wordpress.com. There you can find all kinds of things, like links to our TeePublic store, where we have a design of a frame from this movie that we talked about that is wonderful and has been rendered in beautiful art styles. That's all for us now. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks for Destroy All Monsters on Record All Monsters. In between now and then, remember that monsters are your friends.